Hello, everybody. If you can hear my dogs in the background, I apologize. Um, uh, it's never ending here, apparently. Alright, so I am by myself tonight, but I am going to do this off my phone so I can see the comments, hopefully on my computer. Hopefully on my computer. So I'm going to give it a minute and see if people jump on. And then we'll get started. It's not going to be too long. We're going to just talk briefly about elements and all the fun stuff that comes along with them. And I did mute my computer, right? Yeah, okay. Alright. Cool beans. Alright. So yes, if anybody, if I sound okay, everything looks okay, let me know. I just kind of rearranged everything in my office, so. See, this thing is so weird. Now, when people join and watch, it's like, hey, bring them on camera. Why didn't I do that the other night when I was trying to do a live video with Gina? No, didn't want to work then. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to give everybody just a couple minutes to jump on. I'm in a live. Yeah, so I'm not going to say I'm a morning person. I am a morning person. We're up at like 5:45 every morning. But it's easier for me to do lives at night because I work from like 7 o'clock in the morning until like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. It just depends on when I feel like leaving my office. Well, leaving my office, I mean like leaving this spot because this is where I work every day. Which, by the way, I have a whole bunch of stuff in my office, as you can see. Like my Salem stuff, which is over here. And then like a spooky thing, which is up there. And then another thing, which is there. And then if I move completely out of the way, which I really can't, I have Supernatural there. So yeah, I try to keep my office as customized to me as possible. And while at work, very nice, very nice. I am not working. I am just chilling at the house. We just had dinner, so I'm kind of full. Is it Sam? It is. It is Sam. It's Sam and Cass. I love Supernatural. It's one of my favorite TV shows, so I'm happy to have. I have the Supernatural calendar in here, but then in our kitchen we have a Big Bang Theory calendar, just because it's easier to have two, and I'm the one who loves Supernatural like that. So, but all my Supernatural DVDs are out there for now. They'll be moving soon-ish, hopefully. Alright, so I see a few of you guys are on, so it's 7:06. So why don't we get started? So elements. So this is something I wanted to do just because I wanted to learn a little bit more about them as well, because I feel like I don't know enough about them. Like I know some, but I don't know a ton, and I'm one of those people where I like to learn. I really like to learn. But like for the longest time, and this is just me being completely stupid, for lack of better terms, I honestly thought that I was a water sign, like a water element, because that's just what, my zodiac sign, the water bear, I thought that it was water. No, apparently it is not. It is air, which that made me think and start researching them a little bit more, going, okay, what else don't I know? Because if I didn't know the simple things like that, then obviously there's more that I don't know. So for those of you who are new to elements, basically the 12 zodiac signs are divided into the 4 elements. So Earth, we have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. For air, we have Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. For fire, we have Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And then for water, we have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Which, like I said, I didn't realize that Aquarius was not a water sign or a water element. So it just really took me by surprise. But there's different things about each element that I didn't also realize. Like, earth signs are usually extremely hard-headed, working by nature. They're dependable, responsible, secure, resourceful, confident, stable, reliable, practical, logical. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, okay, I can totally see that, because my husband's a Capricorn, and that is him. I mean, he is very much many of those things. And he's an extremely hard worker, and he does work outside all the time. So that kind of goes hand in hand, which is kind of cool. For air, air signs are highly curious, intelligent by nature. They're social and communicative, visionaries, free spirits, deep thinkers, witty and thoughtful, which again, I can see that. For many of you who don't know, or who weren't part of the book live, I'm a published author, so I can totally see that, visionary, things like that. Like, I can see that for myself. I'm also very curious. I'm a very curious person. I'm very hard to surprise. I'm very annoying when it comes to being surprised. I don't like surprises, so I'm always, as many people call, snooping. But I try not to as much anymore. I say try. Fire signs are natural born leaders. They're courageous and bold and brave, passionate, spontaneous, creative, active, fun, flexible, and loyal. So if you're one of the fire signs, does that resonate with you? And please tell me if any of these resonate with you if I go through any of your, when I go through your zodiac. Because I love to know if these actually resonate with other people like they do with me and my husband. Water signs are natural born healers. They're compassionate and nurturing. They're emotional, spiritual, artistic. So I can see a lot of that. But see, that's the thing, like, I can see that for myself as well for some of those things. Maybe not a natural born healer. But I do try to be very compassionate with people. Probably more so than what I need to be. But that's just me. I also I also very much like water. Now, I say I like water. However, I am 100% terrified of the ocean. But I love water. I know that sounds completely backwards and weird, but it's true. So, as many of you probably know, I am a very big book person, and there are books, and I just found a photo of this like maybe 5 minutes before the event started. That there is actually an Elements of Witchcraft book series. So they actually have like it's book series about like each one, like, so they have the water, magic, air, fire, and earth, and you can get each one on Amazon, which I feel is totally cool. And it just, they kind of go into spells and exercises and recipes and things like that in some of the books for each of the elements, which I feel is kind of cool. And if you guys want, I can actually share that link in the comments, which I'll probably just do anyway. But it's just something that's kind of interesting if you are interested in learning more about them and having books on them. I really like that idea. So it's something that I would want to really check out. Let me make sure. Okay. All right. So going through the elements, like, do you feel like these connect with you in a good, like, in a way that you feel that it works? Like earth is very grounding and connects us to the earth and plants and animals and trees. Air uplifts and, carries through thoughts and communication. Fire is very vibrant passions and creativity, and water is, the flow of currents of emotions, things like that. So there's these different things for each of the elements, that is just like all these little quick guides of just helpful hints about each one. Each and obviously, like, the elements connect to your zodiac signs, which connects to astrology. So it's really cool how they actually connect through everything that you can have. the elements and their connected intentions. So like earth is money, prosperity, fertility, healing, employment. Air, mental powers, visions, psychic powers, wisdom. Fire, lust, encourage, strength, protection, health. Water, sleep, meditation, purification, dreams, healing, love, things like that. So each one has something that they bring to the table in more ways than just one, which is really kind of cool to see and to understand that a little bit. You know, I was reading one of my books the other day, and I'm glad I was glad I was reading it, because I came across this part where each of the elements is a different part of like a compass. So like, for example, air is the element of east, and south is for fire, water is west, earth is north. So like when you have your altar and you are doing like any rituals or anything like that, certain things you should make sure you do. So for example, if you are doing a specific ritual and you have like a circle, these are the way that you're going to want to set up your basically your tools and things like that. Like pentacle is for earth, and a wand is for air, athame for fire, chalice for water. So like all of these things you're going to want to have set up in a specific way to make it so you can get the most out of what you're trying to do. You know, those are the type of things that I feel help a lot. That's, you know, it's a personal thing, but at the same time, I feel like it's something that you should have. Like, so that actually came out of, and I know I mentioned this the other live, the Witch's Journal book. So this is the book that it came out of, and it's just a small page. Well, it's like a small 2-page thing. But as you can see, like they have some stuff on this page about some of the things. And then they have over here is where I read the whole part about like the, you know, west, north, all that fun stuff. Which I really, really like. I like making authors follow the, yes. So see, I did not know that until I started reading that book. Is like, oh, maybe I should change a few things up, because my altar isn't really like, it doesn't follow anything specific right now. It literally was just a whole bunch of stuff that I have that I just stuck on there for the time being. And then I started kind of customizing it as I went. Now, I haven't really dug into this book, and I've had it for ages. But just the title is literally The Elements. So it might be a good read. It might be something that's useful. It might be something that can help. It's by Scott Cunningham. So I don't know if anybody's ever read it, but like just skimming through it, they have little pieces of each of the elements and things like that. Something that'd be kind of cool to dig into. And like I said, I'm a big book person. So any live that I'm going to do will probably have something to do with books, just because I'm weird like that. Like I said, books are my thing. Once we rearrange our house a little bit, I plan to expand my books and move them around. My husband already said I can have at least one of the bookshelves or part of the bookshelves in the other room. So I'm really kind of looking forward to that, because I plan on taking it over. But in terms of elements, tell me, do they connect with you? Does your element for your zodiac, does that connect with you? Do you feel like it connects with you? Do you feel like a different element might connect with you better? And if so, why? Like I said, I always thought that I was water. Always thought that it was water. But then I find out that it's air. And then I realize that kind of they both do. So maybe in my mind, because I thought water, that's what started connecting the most. And now that now that I find out that I'm air, I'm like, okay, I can see a lot of these now. I can definitely get it. You know, I do like it's funny, but also kind of weird at the same time. A lot of things that connect with my zodiac sign, like like air, things like that, I never really expected. Like mental powers, visions, wisdom, certain things like that. I never expected them to actually connect. So that's kind of cool at the same time. And I do like it. It just also kind of throws me off a little bit. And I know a lot of groups and things like that, they do have a lot of stuff that has to do with elements, and I've seen people posting about it several times. There used to be a group that I was in that did a lot of like teachings and things like that, and they had a lot of stuff about each of the elements. But then they kind of stopped with all that, so I don't really know what exactly happened with it. But I think the elements are an entirely up to, because I'm still working on my altar. Yes, so see, I'm still working on mine too. I mean, I would show you guys, but it looks like a disaster. It really does. I actually have on it this old jewelry box from my grandmother, and it's massive. It's like this big. It has all these like little cute drawers in it, but it plays music. It's really cute, kind of creepy, because it did play music one day while we were in a car, and when we were moving it back here, and it just like for some odd reason just started playing music and didn't stop. So I kind of took that as a sign, but instead of using it as a jewelry box, I'm using it to keep little, little tiny things in. Like if I have little pieces of this or little pieces of that, I just keep them in there. Or if I make a oil that I really like, I keep it in there. But going back to some of the elements, so like elemental magic for water, water bending, manipulate and control water, things like that, air bending, weather, the fire bending, using a lot of, you normally always use fire in almost anything you do. You use, air in a lot of stuff you do. You use the earth, and using all four of the elements can make things a little bit more a lot more powerful. So that's always a huge bonus and help. But I have these like quick little guides and things like that just kind of make it a little bit easier to learn a little bit more. And the colors associate with different elements, like light blue for usually the sky, and obviously red or orange for fire, and green for earth, or brown for earth. And then usually for water, they have like a turquoise or like a darker blue or something like that. Just something that kind of associates it. And then colors associate obviously with all of the different elements. So it's really cool to see how the elements tie into everything. It's something that I definitely want to learn more about. And I'd love to do a longer live, a more in-depth live about each of the elements. So like one specific one about earth, one about water, etc., etc. And then this way we can kind of dive deeper into them and see how much more they connect, things like that. So those are really cool. And that's something I would really love to do for everybody, because I know how much everybody here loves learning and things like that. So I'm kind of excited to do something like that. This was more of like a, hey, here's some general information about, about the guide, about the elements. Just a quick guide, a quick, little tidbit thing to kind of get anybody started. Like those books are definitely something that's on my want to buy list now. Just because I feel like they become really, really useful to have, to learn. And I think I'm going to dive more into this just because I haven't. And I think that it could really be helpful. Like if I not scroll. I'm not on a computer. I don't know why I said that. Like if I move to the back of it, like it tells you like altars and things like that. You know, different things, different ways you can incorporate the elements. You can incorporate the elements in anything. You can do it every single day, all day long. You just have to have the right tools to do it. So making sure that you have, you know, all those right things. But there's different things you can use. You know, you can use pretty much anything. Dirt from outside, earth, obviously air, fire, you know, candles, things like that. And then water, you can use your moon water. And if you don't know how to make moon water, you know, that's another cool thing to do. You can use any of that stuff. So you can connect everything. And then obviously part of the elements, the one that nobody really talks about because it's not one of the four main ones. You know, spirit. Spirit holds the energy of the elements. It's usually the top portion, the top of it all. It's the element that's held generally with great strength. So that is something that I never even thought to like think of either, because it's not one that's talked about. It's not like one of the four main elements that you would use. It's just it's kind of like the silent partner, is how I like to put it. It's the silent partner and everything. So it's something that, you know, is there, but it's not talked about, but it's powerful, it's useful. So that's also, like I said, a very huge help. So let me actually do this real fast. Okay. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to end this here, because it's been about 20-30 minutes. And like I said, I just wanted to do a quick overview kind of the elements and kind of get you guys started on anything you maybe want to learn about. If there's something that I talked about that you would want, any of the quick guides that I have, they're little graphics, just let me know and I can share them with you. They're pretty cool and I really they're really useful. So like, actually I could probably do this if I can figure out how to flip my screen.